Hello. Do you know a horse with a soft tissue injury? Maybe a suspensory ligament injury or a tendon strain or even a muscular strain? Well, I think you'll really be interested in reading this blog post that I just published. In the post, I talk about a horse who had a chronic suspensory ligament injury. In other words, it just was not healing. It'd been something like 10 months, and the horse's person was following her veterinarian's instructions to a T, doing everything she was supposed to be doing, but for some reason, the horse just was not healing. The horse was only 10 years old. She was like this gorgeous mare, and it was really sad because the veterinarian was saying, you have to retire this horse. Like, you're just going to have to put her out to pasture. She's not going to be able to be ridden. You won't be able to do anything with her because if it hasn't healed by now, that, it's the prognosis is very, very poor. Someone told the horse's person about me, and she called me up, and I was like the last chance type of thing. And she said, well, I'm not ready to give up on this. Is there anything you can do? So I came out to work with the horse, and the horse was up in Los Angeles, and I clinic up there once in a while. So I did that. This was years ago too that I was doing it. And so what was really fascinating was I saw pretty quickly on in the session that the horse was carrying so much more of her weight on her left side. And guess which leg was the injured leg? It was the left front. So it seems unlikely, right? Like you would think, well, she should be getting the weight off of the injured side. Well, she was at the trot, right? When she was at rest, you can see that she carried more weight on that side, that was the habit. And sure enough, the muscling even showed that, right? It went along with that. It confirmed that. The horse's person, whose name was Jan, she also told me once I pointed that out to her that, oh wow, well, you know what? I've always noticed that she sweats more on this side. So in this horse's case, it was pretty significant, okay? But what I've seen over the 30-something years I've been doing this is that even less significant, like less obvious signs of asymmetrical loading can have very detrimental effects on the horse. They'll certainly interfere with performance. Like, in other words, a horse might bend easier one way than the other because the muscles are tighter generally on the side that they're holding, their weight heavier on. They're bearing more weight on that side. They tend to tighten those muscles. They can have more back pain. They can have tendon injuries. They can have, different muscle strains. I mean, so many things. Even the hooves can grow differently because they're using the legs differently. And they're, horses stand around a lot usually. And even just the standing posture, when it's so asymmetrical like that, can really change the shape of the hooves, can change how, contracted the tendons can be, all kinds of things like that. And what's really important is to know how to look for this. If you do big movements with your horse trying to check to see if they're loading their body asymmetrically, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. It takes a very delicate touch. And I talk all about that in detail in this blog post, okay? So I really hope you check it out. I think it's going to be valuable to you, whether you know a horse with a soft tissue injury or not. In this particular case, the horse has a suspensory ligament injury, but I've seen this with all kinds of injuries and performance problems, even if they're not to the extent that's an injury, but it's an issue with performance, with the ability to do something, right? So please check it out. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know if you've noticed if your horse has difficulty, either bending to one side, or if you're noticing that they tend to stand heavier on one side or one diagonal pair or what have you. There's lots of different combinations that can happen. We do it too as humans. Very, very common. Matter of fact, it was the cause of a lot of my hip difficulty when I was young, before I discovered the Feldenkrais method and got myself out of that mess. So anyway, please check it out. It's marydebono.com/blog/suspensory ligament injury. And if you're watching this video on my website, the post will be right down below it, so you don't even have to get off the page. You'll see it right there. Otherwise, Facebook or whatnot, I'll link to it in the comments. Also, have you joined my free Rider Masterclass yet? If not, what are you waiting for? It's free. It can help improve your position, your balance, your ability to follow your horse. Your horse will be so happy, and so will you. You'll feel better. You'll be able to ride better. And did I say it's free? So go to marydebono.com/rider. Thank you so much for joining me here. I love doing these with you. I so appreciate when you share them as well. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.